Hi there, I didn't see you. Okay, so this is like our video, and we're going to talk about the First Amendment. The First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you guys real quick about a specific section in the First Amendment. The section states that we have the right to peacefully protest. So we'll be showing you guys a clip of individuals peacefully protesting for what is right. I hope you guys enjoy that.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Hi, my name is Destiny, and I'm going to be talking to you about the First Amendment, but more specifically, freedom of speech. I want to discuss this because I want to make sure that you know whether or not the things you do and say are actually being protected by the First Amendment. Because a lot of the time, people read the First Amendment and believe that we have freedom of speech over everything, but it's actually a lot more complex than that, and there are things that are not protected. And so, this amendment actually prevents the government from stopping us from saying what we think. And it also allows us to criticize and share our opinions with others, but there are some exceptions. So now I'm going to tell you some examples of whether or not the amendment protects you or not. So, example 1, if a person is holding a protest and he decides to influence the audience to take act in some criminal acts, like such as, say he influences his crowd to vandalize the place that they are protesting, he would not be protected by the First Amendment because he is influencing others and using fighting words. Also, if a girl decided to walk down the street past some stores that sell fur with the words "fur is murder" written on her bag purposely, this would actually be protected by the First Amendment because she's really just making an expression of herself. Some unprotected speech would be obscenity, child pornography, incitement to riot, fighting words, threats, and non-essential to marketplace of ideas. So any of those would actually not be protected by the First Amendment, and you really need to know this so that you can think before you say things.
My name is Sabrina, and I'll be talking about the freedom of religion, and I'll be discussing how it is abused and how it is used, and yeah. Freedom of religion is the right to practice whatever religion one chooses. And one example would be court cases that address freedom of religion have dealt with rejection of prayers in public schools. Okay. Another example of freedom of religion court cases have dealt with would be the banning of polygamy, and which is the practice of having more than one wife.
I'm back again. So now I'm going to be talking to you about freedom of press. And this means that the government cannot control what is printed in books and newspapers, what is broadcasted on TV and radio, and what is offered online. So now for some examples in which the freedom of press actually protects or doesn't protect these people in certain situations. So example 1, if a person has a fashion blog and they just post their opinions on different clothing, then this would actually be protected by the First Amendment. But if somebody has a website and they're posting libel, which is written defamation, and defamation is false expression in which it can damage someone's reputation, then this would not be protected by the First Amendment. Also, another case is copyright. That would not be protected by the First Amendment. So, for example, if somebody has a YouTube channel and they play a famous artist's music in the background without copyright, then they would not be protected by the First Amendment. Some principles of the First Amendment are that it affirms freedom of the individual. Free expression is foundation of democracy. It tells the government to keep its hands off of our ideas. beliefs, religion, and expressing ourselves. And other people have rights too, so it promotes equality. And when rights collide, it makes the government step in and balance out the rights. So that's why we have a judicial system. And it also promotes and helps us make choices.
Okay. And at the end of the First Amendment, it states, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances, meaning if someone needs to sue the government for something, they have the right to do so. And it's essential in a democracy because it protects public participation in government.